What is up, guys? Burke here, and today I am in the Waldorf Astoria in Park City, Utah. We are about to check out, and I wanted to spend a little bit of time today in this video showing you everything we did this weekend, but also talking about how we stayed in a room worth $1,250 a night, $1,250 per night. We were able to stay for 2 nights for free, and the entire trip was worth over $4,482. Despite all of those numbers, the money that we spent on this trip was only $422, meaning that we saved over $4,000 in this trip by utilizing the strategies that I'm going to go through with. As you're watching the video, stick around, and I'm going to be breaking down section by section how you can do the exact same thing and get a trip this luxurious without setting yourself back, without ripping out the bank. $400 could be a trip to a town really close by, but we were able to do something all the way across the United States for an entire weekend in luxury, with most of the expenses being covered by the strategy I'm going to walk you through. So enjoy the video, and as every section goes through, I'm going to break down what it would have cost and what we ended up paying for it. I'm sitting in the Minute Suites over at the BWI airport, which we were able to get also for free. Now, obviously there's little things like airport parking, like getting a rental car that we did have to put some money towards, but we were able to get a lot of it for free. I didn't realize how much I would use lounges in airports, and really I go out of my way for them because it's a really good time to de-stress, and often airports can be stressful, and so Priority Pass is something I've really used. This is just a great experience that I'm able to sit down, relax for an hour, record part of this video, and figure out a little bit more of what I want to show you guys on this trip. Also, if you may have noticed, this lounge is a really good size. So if you're wondering why Brienne is not here, actually because she was able to get her own suite for free at the same time while we're here. So while I'm sitting here recording this at 5 in the morning, she is sitting over there sleeping in the other lounge, though I imagine she could still hear me. But anyway, I don't want to miss my flight, so I'll see you on the other side. How'd you sleep?
Good. Not long enough.
Now, we were able to fly here for free because we had the Southwest Rewards Premier card. This is a card that my wife signed up for at the beginning of the year. They were offering a sign-up bonus of 50,000 points when you spend $2,000 in the first 3 months, and they were also offering complimentary companion pass, which means that anytime she booked flights for the first year of owning that credit card, I would be able to fly for free with her. With that, we were able to fly multiple times this year for essentially nothing because we were able to use the points to book the flights, and then she would book her flight with the points. I would fly for free. There is a caveat that you do pay about a $5.50 fee per direction. So for us on this trip, the total we paid for it would have been $23. Looking up the prices, and I'll put a screenshot of what the prices were when we booked. The tickets were worth about $770 between the two of us, but because of the points and companion pass from the sign-on bonus, we were both able to fly for a total of $23 for a $770 worth of flights from BWI round trip to Salt Lake City, Utah. So right there, that brings the first total of $770 gained with only spending $23. Now, the Rapid Rewards Premier card is no longer available in its previous form with the Companion Pass. However, there is still a really good offer in which the sign-on bonus is double the amount of points that we got when we signed up for the card. Currently, the Southwest Airlines Rapid Rewards Plus card is offering a 100,000 point sign-on bonus, 50,000 points when you spend 2,000 in the first 3 months, and you'll get an additional 50,000 points if you spend 12,000 within the year of the account opening. If you think you can do either of those things, this card is a really good opportunity for you. And as you're flying, if you're someone that flies a lot and you use this credit card often, you'll actually be working towards a companion pass and will be able to earn a companion pass, which will allow someone else to fly with you for free. So you could be using those points and utilizing that, leveraging it to eventually get a companion pass and get additional flights with whoever your significant other, a friend, or someone that likely is to travel with you in most situations. However, other benefits of flying with Southwest is that we actually got 2 of our bags checked for free on both sides. That was without any type of status. That's just something Southwest gives to everyone. But the one catch, we did have to pay for our 5th bag that we chose to check because of a interesting thing that we have, which is with the Hilton Honors Aspire card. If you've seen our previous videos, I've talked about the $250 airline credit. We were able to use the entirety of both of our $250 airline credits on this trip and our previous trip. For this trip, we were able to check an extra bag for $75. We do get that $75 reimbursed because of our airline credit with our Hilton Honors Aspire card. So there's another $75 there to the tally that we got for free. We wouldn't normally check 5 bags, but because we're traveling with our snowboards, we had our snowboard bags and our boot bags. And so total with those 4 bags and with our primary luggage, that totals 5 bags, which was 1 over what we were given. We did have $500 of reimbursable spend on airlines. It does not count towards seat upgrades and it does not count towards airline bookings. However, what it did give for us is, if you're familiar with flying with Southwest, you know that their boarding procedure is there are no assigned seats and you kind of just pick whatever you get, first come, first serve. We got reimbursed for each flight by paying for the priority boarding. So we went up to guest services right before boarding the flight, asked if we could pay to be added to priority boarding. We would pay about $50 per flight, and then we would get upgraded to the first 15 people to board the plane, which meant that we got the exit row seats or front of the plane every single time that we flew. There aren't any special business class or first class seats, but it did give us better seats in general. So I really do appreciate that. I was grateful we were able to do that. We did that both ways, which will total to, we will do that both ways, which means it'll end up totaling about $200, maybe a little bit more. It varies based on which flight it is, the length of the flight, how much exactly it costs. But we're just gonna lowball estimate at about $200 because it was $50 per person. So for 2 flights, that would make sense. We did actually have to do it twice the way here because we had a connecting flight. So we actually spent $200 just getting here in priority boarding. That will be reimbursed. So right there with that, with the $75, $200, and the $770 in flights, that brings our total currently of value gained to $1,045. Now, we also bought on the plane Wi-Fi on every one of our flight legs, which totaled about $48, and that was also reimbursable, which brings our total to $1,093, and all that we've spent so far is just $23. We did pay for parking at the airport, no way getting around that, and that totaled $32, so right now we've spent a total of $55. And the last thing that we got is with our priority pass, we each got a $45 value private suite in the airport, which would have cost $45 each, but because we both have priority pass, we were able to both stay in there for free for an entire hour. All together with the flights, the suites, the upgrades, everything is going to be a total of $1,215 worth of value, and what we spent to get it was only a total of $55. Now we've gotten off the plane, we've gotten to our rental car, and the rental car was something I wasn't sure about getting, but because we're traveling about 35 minutes outside of the Salt Lake City area to Park City, the cost of an Uber or a shuttle would have been upwards of $150 between both directions. Not to mention the fact that while we're there, we would have a lot less mobility. So we opted to get a rental car because I had 1 free night and we get a free car upgrade with my status because of status matching, which I've talked about in a previous video, in which I was able to get Nationals Executive Elite status because I have Diamond status with Hilton from my Hilton Honors Aspire card. Now that car would have cost $246. If we counted for the upgrade, it would actually be worth a lot more than that, but I'm not counting that just to keep it simple. $246, we got $77 of that for free because we got one free night because I've had 5 rentals total with that national rental car, which allowed me to get a free night. To brings our total value to $1,416 of value gained, while we still have only spent $224.
Hello and welcome to the Park City Waldorf Astoria. Here you will enter a magical wintry kingdom only fit for kings and queens. And we're here to tell you how we got it for free.
Because of the Hilton, we actually got this 2 nights for free here, but not only did we do that, they actually upgraded us because of the diamond status, so we're excited to see what this looks like. We have a full kitchen, a dining, full washer dryer, a full bathroom, a shower, the second full bathroom and shower.
And now we've arrived at the Waldorf Astoria, and I'm gonna talk about the value we got here. Every year with the Hilton Honors Aspire card, you get diamond status, and you also, along with a lot of other benefits I've listed previously, you also get a free night every year with no price cap at any Hilton property. The caveats are it cannot be an all-inclusive resort, it's based on availability, and it has to be the base room at that property. Using those conditions, I went on Hilton's app, I searched for the most expensive Hilton property this weekend in the United States, and I came up with the Park City Waldorf Astoria, which for a night in their base room for this weekend is $700. However, I will also mention that if you look into any future weekends, then you will actually see that the prices go up to between $900 to $1,000 in the peak weekends over the winter. We chose this specifically because it was the most expensive property in the US, so we wanted to make the most outsized value for that benefit. I had 2 nights because one was from 2020. Due to COVID, they carried that night over, so I had one in 2020 and one from 2021. Using those 2 together, I was able to book this place for 2 nights. Once I arrived, because I am diamond status here, diamond status also qualifies you for upgrades whenever available on the property. Because of the weekend I selected, we were actually able to get an upgrade to the Queen Superior Suite, which is where we're in now, with a value of $1,250 per night during this weekend. So that means that with those 2 free nights that I got using my weekend night credits, not even touching my hotel points, which by the way, this place would bankrupt me with how many points it requires to stay. I currently have about 500,000 Hilton Honors points, and this place costs 313,000 per night. I would not be able to afford this normally, but because of the free weekend night, I was able to stay here for 2 nights for free and get the upgrade to stay in an even nicer place because of that status. All of this is thanks to the Hilton Honors card. If you haven't signed up for it yet and you are interested in looking into this card, you can look at my previous video about the Hilton Honors Aspire, or you can click the link in the description, check out the offer, and it will give you the most competitive link, and it's a great way to support the channel if you do decide to sign up for the card by using the link in the description. I just wanted to take a second and talk about our experience tonight because we just came in, checked in a little bit ago.
We got a phone call less than 10 minutes after we came, into the room from the lady up at the front. Her name is Riley. She, how's everything going? And then she invited us down for a free round of drinks down at the restaurant.
For context, this is a restaurant that I had only planned for us to go to on Sunday. Before getting here, I had anticipated to have $250 of redeemable spend, which I'll talk about later in the video, that we would be able to spend on this property. We figured out that there's actually an extra $150 that we did not know about that is going to be $50 per night that we get to spend on the property. So when they invited us to free drinks and we realized that we still had $50 we had to spend on the property anyway, figured it was a good opportunity to go there for dinner as well. We went there, we split a Wagyu burger.
We got free drinks, and then we got a lemon blueberry cheesecake, which impeccable.
Yeah, I'll put the pictures up on screen. But we also had that removed by the bartender for no reason. It seems like just based on what I was hearing around, that's just a very common thing here. Well, I guess because you're spending so much money here, but they take a lot of things off the menu to be kind, maybe to get a better tip, I'm not sure. But either way, the only thing we ended up paying for of that experience was the Wagyu beef burger. But because we have a $50 redeemable credit, between the $37 burger and the $25 tip we got, there will only be about $12 charged to our credit card. However, we do have $250 that we can spend on the property, so we'll actually get that $12 back as well. Essentially, that meal was free, not because of the reasons we intended. We just got 2 free drinks and a free dessert as an extra bonus.
Really good customer service and hospitality and taking care of you. They do this with everyone, but I also don't know if because we're Diamond members, they do a little bit extra, the free drinks.
And the biggest surprise to us, I think, is just the level of attention. Since we've pulled up on the property, we haven't been in a public space without somebody offering to take care of even the most minuscule tasks for us, to the point where us who are not accustomed to this environment have been very uncomfortable, and for lack of a better word, we just don't know how to approach such overwhelming kindness and overwhelming service. We got there and the car was valeted for us. Our snowboards were carried to a storage facility where they will be given to us tomorrow at the gondola before we get onto the slopes. We offered to carry our bags ourselves, though we were met with a lot of resistance on that, but we went to the front, met the front desk person who knew we were coming, knew our names already, and then continued to greet us, gave us her name, and we've seen her around a couple times, and she was actually the one that called us for the reservation. She met us there to make sure that the reservation was all right and that everything went smoothly. There's s'mores that are out tonight. We might hopefully get some of those later, so we're gonna go get changed and then we're gonna head to the pool and the hot tub. The pool is heated, which is a great thing because I think it's about 40 degrees outside right now, and then we'll be back tomorrow to hit the slopes. So we are heading down to the pool. We just got these awesome robes in the room. Third floor?
Why are you going all the way to the 3rd floor?
Isn't the 3rd floor the floor you guys are? We're on the 4th floor.
It's the 4th.
Oh. Oops.
I think the hot tub's open.
So there's a reason I make these videos, because I just had a great conversation with a guy about all of the stuff and how we got this for free, and I realized how much I just love to talk about this. So hopefully making these videos is going to keep me from annoying everybody that I meet talking about travel hacking. Now, on top of this, because of the Hilton Unused Aspire card, you have $250 resort statement credit, which means that if you spend $250 within the calendar year on Hilton properties, they will reimburse you for that $250 when it's spent on the properties. It cannot be used to book the rooms. It's typically on incidentals on the property, like food, room service, in-house dining, spas, things like that. I have already used my $250 this year on other hotels, and so Brienne brought her credit card, which also is the Hilton Unused Aspire. She was able to use her $250 on this property. So that means that we were able to spend $250 here in dining, getting a 30-minute massage for her, which would have cost $100. We did all of that and we're getting fully reimbursed for that. On top of that $250, we also, because of diamond status, get $50 per day, $25 per person on meals every day. So that totals of $150 on top of the $250 that we get reimbursed for on our statement credit. But there's one other value that you get. On the Conrad and Waldorf Astoria properties, along with the Hilton Honors Aspire, they do have one other additional benefit, which is a $100 statement credit for Waldorf Astoria and Conrad properties if you stay a minimum of 2 nights. So because I had the 2 free nights that I was able to redeem and put them back to back, I qualified for the $100 in spending while on the property, which means that I can spend an additional $100 on top of the $400 already, bringing it total to $500 that we can spend on the property that will be fully reimbursed to us. Adding together the 2 room nights of $1,250 and the $500 in spend that we get reimbursed for on the property, that brings our total to $4,461 that we get in value this weekend, having only still spent $224. We just had the most incredible room service breakfast. I had pancakes with blueberry and lemon compote. I don't know what that is. Brian had banana bread nut waffles. No, banana nut bread French toast. And both of them were some of the best meals we've had in a very long time. Really, really good experience. And now we're about to hit the slopes. I wanted to do some footage with the camera, but obviously I am not as competent as of a snowboarder to be able to do that and not break this camera. So instead, I'll probably take some phone footage and share a little bit of that, but we're gonna head over to Park City, get our passes, and then head off on the slopes. Can I touch you back here? Now, because we're here in Park City, the biggest thing to do here is skiing and snowboarding. It is the very beginning of the season, and we both have our own snowboards. So the idea of coming to Park City was really appealing to us, not only because of the value from the room, but because we knew we could bring our snowboards here because of the Southwest baggage. And when we get here, we would be able to snowboard. The Waldorf Astoria has a valet that holds onto our boards. They take our truck away, and then when we're ready to go, they take our boards, put them in the truck, and we're ready to go head out to the slopes. There's typically even a gondola that leaves directly from the property here, but because it's so early in the season, that one hasn't opened up yet. We had a great amount of time snowboarding yesterday. It was an awesome experience. I am extremely sore afterward, and you could tell my voice is a little hoarse making this video because of it as well. The passes were unfortunately something we could not get out of, so included in the cost of this weekend trip was the $198 that it cost for both of us to get 1 day of ski lift tickets. It cost $99 per person. That brings our total to $4,659 in value that we've gotten up until this point, with only spending $442. That is without even mentioning the other benefits of free things that we've gotten while on this property because of our status. We were offered a free dessert worth $25. We were offered 2 free drinks, which were worth $35. Which brings our total to $47.19. We were also given 2 free glasses of high-end wine brought to us in our room for free, which I'll just lowball at $7 a piece, bringing us to $47.33. And so that's an insane amount of value that we've gotten, primarily just because of the one credit card, the Hilton Honors Aspire. I would say only about $770 was gained from the Southwest card, which is still an amazing opportunity, but the other $4,000 was all that Hilton Honors Aspire card and how much value that card can give you. Now, we both do have the card, which gives us more opportunities than most. However, I would also like to mention that we really didn't use most of both of our credits. For example, the statement credit on property, we're only using her credit for that, and we're only using my Waldorf Conrad property on my card for this trip, so that would be one card. We're only using hers because mine were already used. So if you just had this card, you still would be able to get all the value that we got on this trip. But if you have a second person with you, then you can obviously get more opportunities. We stayed in 2 different suites at the Minute Suite just because we both had priority pass. We do get free guests there. We didn't have to go to separate rooms, but she wanted to sleep and I wanted to work on the video. So we separated for that so that she could rest, I could record. We were only able to do that because we both had priority pass, but we would have still been able to stay there without it because I have guests. The same goes for how much we spent in priority boarding, in checking bags. All of the things that we spent really could have just been on one card, but because we've both used some of our benefits already, we just merged them together to finalize our benefits that we get. Because once the calendar year ends, everything refreshes and we'll get a bunch of this stuff back again. So this trip is really only using what we had to use by the end of the year. We actually didn't even touch most of the benefits we've gotten from just the Hilton Honors Aspire alone, not to mention all the other cards that we have in our portfolio. But now we are checking out of here. Unfortunately, we do have a massage planned for Brienne, which she will get for free. We have a dinner planned here, which we will get for free. We met some great friends last night, and we're probably gonna meet up with them today. Because I didn't want to fly out late tonight, I really wanted to enjoy today. So as a result, we're actually going to be staying a night at the airport for 19,000 points, which I have in Hilton Honors. Even from the sign-on bonus alone, which your Hilton Honors Aspire has 150,000 point sign-on bonus, I'm barely touching that with 19,000 points, staying at a room very close to the airport with an airport shuttle. That would have cost us $98 for a night room there. That 19,000 points was given from the sign-on bonus from the Hilton Honors Aspire card. It's an additional $98, which brings our total to $4,831, with having only spent $442. We just finished packing up and we are out of here. What a great time. We really enjoyed it, but you can't stay in a free place like this for super long, so we are out of here. Gonna spend a day in Park City, then head over to Salt Lake where we have our hotel for the night. Dropped off the rental car and we did something that I think a lot of people don't do. I would highly recommend getting a hotel right next to the airport and returning your rental car a day early. By returning it the night before your flight, you can get the shuttle back. You can drop your bags off before you return the car, so you don't have to take your bags through the shuttle. The airport shuttle provided by the hotel in the morning, and it's so much easier, and you can save an entire day worth of a rental car, which could be like $100. So if you ever rent and you know your last day is gonna be near the airport, I'd highly recommend returning it a day early. You're not gonna use it if your flight's in the early morning, and there's no sense paying the extra day for your car. So now I've returned it. Brienne's back at the hotel relaxing and having a good night, and I'm gonna take the shuttle back to the hotel, stay the night, and we'll be back here early in the morning to fly home. Also, if you do it that way, not only do you save the money in the rental car for a day, but typically the airport hotels are also a lot cheaper. So just something to consider when you do that is that you could save a lot of money on hotels because you're switching from your more nice hotel to more of the hotels by the airport, which are typically like the cheaper ones. And then you also get to save on the rental car. So it's a double whammy. You save a lot of money. So after 2 nights of staying in the luxury Waldorf Astoria, here we are in the Hampton Inn by the airport. So let me give you a little quick tour of what we got going on here. The fancy $100 a night, which we got for free with our points. Fancy Hampton Inn hotel. Honestly, I was actually kind of surprised. Still a decent size, and I don't know if they upgraded us because of diamond status, but it's a pretty nice thing. We only got it for 19,000 points, which it would have been worth about $98, so pretty good deal. Like I said, a lot cheaper than the $1,300 we had to pay if we stay at the Waldorf. This has been an incredible trip, something we only dreamed of. We never could have imagined actually doing this. This Hilton Honors Aspire card did this all for us. It was really incredible how much value we got, and I really just cannot stress enough how awesome of an opportunity it is. If you do decide to sign up for this card, then use the link in the description, which is going to give you the most competitive offer, and it's a fantastic way to support our channel. I'd really appreciate it. And I do want to give some last minute caveats. We take a lot of trips now that are all entirely or mostly paid by credit cards. We've been using travel hacking the past year and a half, and we've gotten so much value from it. It really is insane, and it really is feasible. So I highly recommend, if you're scared about it, go into the comments. You can ask me any question you want. I will get it. And if it's something big enough, I might make a video on it addressing your question. But I do also want to address some concerns as well. Obviously, the first thing that I think a lot of people will mention is that we do have to pay for the card's annual fees, which the Hilton Honors Aspire does have a $450 annual fee, and the Southwest Premier card does have a $79 annual fee, which actually has been just bumped down to $69, but we got it when it was $79. Obviously, this is only a small amount of what we actually get in value from these credit cards. But let's assume you were taking this trip. In order to take this trip, you and someone else signed up for the Hilton Honors Aspire card, and one of you signed up for the Southwest card in order to just take this one trip. Well, between the two $450 annual fees and the $79 annual fee, you would still have $979 that you're paying on top of the $442, which brings your total to $1,421 that you spent just to take this one trip. But that's how much you paid for a value of $4,831. So even if this was the only trip that you took with these three cards, which by the way, it wouldn't even have touched 131,000 of your Hilton Honors points and 150,000 points on the other person's card, it still wouldn't have touched probably another $500 in qualify spend on properties. It would not have touched most of your airline points. So altogether, you still would have had so much remaining that you haven't even touched that you'll get to use in the future. And the status will grant you a lot of other stuff in the future. There's so many values that you wouldn't even touch signing up for those cards. But if you did just sign up for these three cards to get the bonuses to take just one trip like this for one weekend at the Waldorf in Park City, you still would have gotten almost 4 times your value, and you could just chalk those off to travel expenses. Because $1,421 to take you and another person, I mean, we could have slept obviously 5-6 people in this suite. To be able to do that, you would have had to drop almost $5,000, and you were able to do that for under $1,500. That's still an insane deal, but it's not all you get. You can continually travel. It gives you the opportunities for way more than just this one weekend. But if you want to include those in the cost, then yes, technically, if we were just taking this trip this year, we would have paid $1,421 to take a trip valued at $4,831. But all in all, I would say it was amazingly worth it for us. We chalk off our annual fees to a travel budget because after using those annual fees, we basically have to pay for almost nothing else on top of that, aside from things that are outside of airlines, hotels, and rentals. When it's all said and done, we are really glad we did this. We took this trip half because we really wanted to take an amazing experience, but the other half is because we wanted to show you guys what was possible and what we were able to accomplish in this trip. I'm really glad we did this. It's been an amazing weekend. We actually met some great friends here. We had a great time snowboarding. We got to try out slopes on the West Coast, which I've never done before. It was a great experience. We were able to push ourselves, challenge ourselves, and we also had a really good travel experience, learning a little bit more about how to make our videos better and how to improve, and also how to show you guys how you can do it too. We are back at the airport and it's time to head home. So hopefully this video helps. I do want to give a huge thanks to the Waldorf Astoria Park City, and I could not be more grateful for the experience we were able to get here. Comment and let me know what trip you would take with your Hilton Honors Aspire card if you had 2 free nights. If you have questions about these cards or other things in the travel hacking game, let us know. This is part of our How to Buy Free Travel series. We make videos every couple weeks that talk about travel hacking to increase your literacy and help you be able to understand, recognize, and take advantage of travel hacking deals. If you like the video and you decide to sign up for the Hilton Honors Aspire card or the Southwest Rapids Rewards card, then please use the links in the description. They have the most competitive offers and they're a great way to support the channel. I really appreciate if you do that. Click this link if you want to learn more about the Hilton Honors Aspire card, and I will be making a video on the Southwest Rapids Rewards cards. If you see a link here, click it and you'll be able to watch that one too. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.